Kristen, and you're listening to Podcast and Amplify, a podcast for women entrepreneurs who want to amplify their voice and brand through podcasting and grow a wildly successful business. I'm the executive producer and host of 2 shows and an entrepreneur, and I love helping women grow their visibility, mindset, and business to the next level. Each week, I share tips on how to launch and leverage your podcast, and I'm bringing on the very best business leaders to give you advice on how to build your business empire. Let's amplify your voice and business. Welcome back to the Podcast and Amplify podcast. So today we're talking about something that I am so excited to talk about. So we're talking about dreams. And I don't mean the images and the stories that play out in your head while you're sleeping. I'm talking about our most cherished aspirations, our most cherished ambitions, and we all have them, but I know that we really struggle with them a lot of the time. So we can struggle to even acknowledge that we have these dreams. We can struggle to know what to do with them if they're kind of pulling at us. And so I wanted to talk about how can you clarify those dreams? How can you lean into them? How can you just acknowledge them? Because our dreams really are so important. And that's why I'm so excited to have Karen Williams-Thompson, a transformational life coach, trainer, and speaker on the show. She can really talk about so many different things, but we had a pre-interview and we kind of kept coming back to this topic. And I think it kind of excited both of us. So Karen is also the founder of Beyond Limits Global Consultancy, and she's the creator of her signature program, Say Yes to Your Dreams, where she helps you gain clarity on your why and go from feeling stuck and overwhelmed to being overjoyed and confidently designing the life or business that you desire. She empowers businesses and individuals, especially women, to achieve their goals and live their best life to their fullest. So I could think of no one better to talk about dreams than Karen. Karen, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you, Kristen, for having me. It really is my pleasure.
So let's jump into why is it important to gain clarity around your dreams and how can we do that?
I would start by saying our dreams reside in the faculty of our imagination. That's where we begin to think and imagine things that we would want to be, do, or have. And everyone has this. Everyone has dreams, something that they either want to be, something they want to do, or they want to have. And one of the things that how you can get clarity on it is really to get a vision. What is this dream? What does it look like? Or what do you want it to look like? And it's really important for you to do that because when you get the vision, what that gives you is the clarity. When you explore, why is this dream important to me? What does it mean to me? A question I like to ask clients is it your dream? Because often persons may come along and they may be doing something, but when you really talk to them, that dream wasn't really theirs. That's what somebody else wanted for them. So it's really, really important to be clear on the why. So having the clarity on the why, creating your vision, what you want your life to look like in the future. That is really how you get the clarity, because a vision is like a photograph. Imagine having a photograph and on it is just that dream of how you want everything to look. Clarity also allows you to identify the steps. So once you have that clarity, you now know, okay, this is where I am and this is where I want to go. So it shows you the gap. And that allows you now to start to identify the steps that you need to get to take you from where you are to where you want to go. Clarity is also important because in that process, you get to remove blocks. What comes up for you are some of the things that may have been holding you back. You may have been telling yourself, oh, I don't have the time to really pursue that right now. Oh, it's going to cost too much. I got to wait till the kids leave home. There's so many things that come up for us. So having clarity allows you to identify those blocks. And it's really important to identify them and to remove those blocks. So being clear on your dream and why you want it helps you to also be prepared for the sacrifices that you will have to make. Because for anything that you want to achieve, you're going to have to trade something. So you might have to sacrifice time. You might have to give up something. So all of those things help to give you the clarity. And that's why it's important in your dream. Having the clarity really sets you up for that success that you're looking for.
So I like having the clarity and seeing where you need to go and where you are, because you can almost sort of like reverse engineer it a little bit. Like, yes, I need to be here and now I need to get, those steps in between. And so I think that's really helpful. And then you talked about having the vision for your dream, like really having that vision. And I think part of what that does too is it really can motivate you to achieve your dream, because it becomes so clear and tangible that it gets that excitement, right? That where you're like, okay, I can almost feel it being reality. So I think that could be really helpful to achieving your dream and making it a reality. I want to talk about how can we clarify our dreams? Like, are there exercises that we can do to become more clear around that?
I am so excited that you asked me that question, Kristen, because that leads on from just what you were saying. One of the tools that we can use is to create a vision board, because just now when you were actually speaking about seeing it and being motivated, everything was just coming for me. So one of the main things you can do is create a vision board. And this is something I really, really encourage. A vision board is a simple tool which helps brings clarity. It helps you to form specific goals, and it helps you to maintain accountability, because like you said just now, you can see it. You have a vision, you have the photos, you have the words that are going to encourage you. It also helps with accountability, because life gets busy, but then you look back at your vision board and you say, aha, this is my next thing that I have to take up. And a vision board is not just a board with random images on it. It has specific pictures on it which are focused on your goals. Now, I like to say too that a vision board doesn't have to be all about your life. It could be about something specific. So it could be you want to go on a vacation and you know where you're going and you know the places that you want to see, or you've researched and you know the restaurants. You can create a vision board just around that experience. So you can use it for small goals and you can use it for larger life goals.
Oh, I love that. Because I was only thinking like big goals, but I like having like different boards for different goals.
Yes. I have had people that have had boards for like redoing a section in their home, like wanting to create the perfect backyard and the whole ambience of what that looked like. And they did the research and they had the tiles and the garden had everything, how they wanted it to look. So you can really determine the type of vision board you have, whether it's something specific or whether it's going to be more all encompassing. The other reason for a vision board is because we are often very busy as people. We've got a lot of different things going on, and a vision board helps us to remain focused on our intentions. And that's important because that also fuels the momentum. That allows us not to get lost in all of the busyness of life. And it also keeps us motivated. The vision board also helps you to create a strategy or a plan so that you can then identify what you need. So if we look back at the same vision board with the travel destination, you will then decide what you want. You got to book the hotel, you got to do all these different things. So it helps you to actually plan. And having a plan takes away the overwhelm, takes away the anxiety, because you already know this is what's going to happen. And even if something happens, and I always tell people, as soon as you make a plan, life knocks on the door. Challenges turn up. Something doesn't work out. COVID comes.
Right.
We're not going on the vacation anymore. But at least you have something that you have as a reference that you can go back to. You can change it. A vision board is not cast in stone. It is not a one size fits all. A vision board is as unique as the individual who is creating it. And that means that they can make adjustments they can make changes to it as life happens, as they grow and things change. They can do the same thing with their vision board. The other thing that can help you become really clear and with your dream is you can get an accountability partner or a coach. And this is important because at times we think that it is best if we go alone. But for journeys like this, it is really best to have someone on that journey with you, someone who can see and help you identify your blind spots, someone who can call you out when that is necessary, someone who can hold you accountable, but most of all, someone who's really fully supportive in helping you to achieve the goals that are really important to you. So those are just some of the things that you can do to really help you to achieve these goals.
Okay, I love those suggestions. I love that you gave one that is something that you can do on your own. And then you gave one that, requires maybe a little bit of an investment, but so worth it, getting support from a coach or a mentor. Going back to the vision board, I'll share my story with my vision board that, I used to kind of think, oh, vision boards, I don't know, is that too woo? Like, is it, I don't really get it. But I decided, well, I should try it before don't knock it till you try it. So I created my vision board and I really wanted to start traveling more because I'm very passionate about travel. Started out as a travel blogger. And so I wasn't traveling as much though. And I really wanted to be doing that. So I had put like New Zealand on my board and a couple other places. And I woke up to it like every day for a year. And what I realized is that it did really keep me accountable. Every time I said in my head, no, you can't do that. No, that's too big of a dream. I looked at my board and I thought to myself, no, you put that on your board for a reason. You put that on your board because it's one of your dreams. It's your heart's desire. So it just made it so much harder for me to listen to those voices of, no, you shouldn't. No, you can't. Yeah. And then that next year, I traveled the most I'd ever traveled. Like I traveled to like 3 countries, a couple different continents, different states. And just having that, a visual, that something you can look at makes it so much more tangible. It makes it so much more real that your dream can happen. And I love how you pointed out the planning part, because I actually hadn't noticed that, but it's when you were saying it, I'm like, oh gosh, that's so true, because it shifted my mind a lot of the times from I can't do that to no, how am I going to do that? Correct. Right. And then you start planning, you start, okay, I got to get the ticket and I got to save the money and I got to, pack the bag, and just all of the steps really, really helped.
And the good thing about that, Kristen, is that when you plan it and you see the things that are needed, the other things that you need pop up. From the time you do that and you know that you need the ticket, then something else pops up. You say, okay, but I have the ticket, but I need to do something else. Or if there are attractions, do I need to pre-book, or can I do that when I get there? And so it allows you to have that clarity, allows you to be so much more strategic. And that also means that whenever you get to the experience, it is just a wow, because so much of it has already been done. And it's just now just living the experience and really being playing full out in it.
Yes, I love that. And you reminded me that, when you're thinking about something as it's going to happen or a possibility, it opens your mind, it opens your awareness to the things that are, an alignment with that, right? Like, oh, there's this deal on this flight. And like, had been thinking, oh, I'm not going to go, it's too expensive, I wouldn't have been open to seeing the deal on or whatever it is, right?
Yes.
I really love that example. And I think it is very helpful. And speaking from experience, investing in coaching is really powerful, because sometimes we can't really get over our blocks on our own. And we just need the cheerleader and someone to question those limiting beliefs.
Yes, that's so important. And I've really seen the power of coaching in my life personally, even as a coach. Having a coach is really a very good investment. And you're right about that. It's about having someone who is neutral. It is about having someone who can see your blind spots, because the reality is when we are in our life, we can't see everything. But having someone who can see, but not only that, a coach is someone who can ask you some questions that are then going to get you to think more and to understand better. It gives you that awareness, which leads back into your clarity, because the greater your awareness, the greater your clarity. And so working with a coach allows you to do that, because then you can build on that awareness that you have. And when you have the clarity, that is, I would like to say, at least 50%, because you understand your why and you are super clear on it. From there, you are just building the other steps to keep you moving.
Got it. Love that. Yeah, you're halfway there with the clarity.
Yes.
Hey, explorers, we'll get back to the show in just a moment, but I wanted to take just a few seconds to invite you to the free workshop that I created. It's called The 3 Secrets to Starting Your Successful Podcast. Now, it's all about helping you to start your dream podcast so that you can share your voice and expand your business. If you want to join, just go to podcastanamplify.com. It's totally free. All right, friend, back to the show. Okay, so I kind of want to ask you, I think this is a trick question, but so how do we know if our dreams are too small or too big?
Well, Kristen, for me, dreams are never too small. But what I say is, the bigger the dream, the better, because it's not the size of the dream. It's more about how much you really want the dream and will it be worth it for you? And the thing about it is, when you imagine a dream and it's big, it's not just the achievement of the dream, it's who you become in that process, because you grow as well. You know, you became aware of so many things in that whole process, from the time you identified the dream, became clear on the way, got clear on your clarity stuff. So there was a whole process that you yourself were going through. And so the bigger the dream, the more stretch for you. So you then are living and stepping into your fullest potential. So that there's no dream. I don't think that you dream small. You just let that imagination go. You use your imagination for your dreams, because that's the place where it's all created. That's the place where the magic happens.
Oh, I love that. I love that, you know, that it is really about how much we stretch ourselves, how much we are able to grow. So that's a lovely way to put it. You know, I think a lot of us feel like we need permission to say yes to our dreams. And I want to ask you, how can we say yes to our dreams, and why should we say yes to our dreams?
I love that. I love that. Because, you know, yes, I'm all about yes. Saying yes is empowering. That's the first thing. When you say yes to anything, in your mind, you've already given yourself permission to do it. You've already said, I'm ready. You're already saying yes. A definition of yes says it's an affirmative answer or a decision. And when you say yes, you are allowing room for opportunities, like the opportunities when you traveled. But you also give yourself that permission, not only to try, but to fail, because things will happen. But when you say yes, you know that there's the possibility. You know that you're going to learn something from doing something new and from doing something different. So you're not hung up on the fail. You are already in the mindset of, I can and I will. Saying yes can be frightening for people. And that's why sometimes they don't say yes to their dreams. But I encourage people to say yes, because if you don't say yes, then you're always wondering, what if? I wish I had. Why didn't I? And those are not things you really want to look back on. So even though saying yes can be scary, think about what it would look like if you didn't say yes. Imagine what it is if you don't take that chance on yourself. So saying yes for me is really about affirming that belief in myself. I can do this. I am worth this dream. This dream is worthy of me, because often we think, am I worthy of the dream? But the real question is the dream worthy of me? Because I have to do the sacrifice and I have to make the effort. I have to put in the work to make this dream a reality. So is the dream worthy of me? Because you are worthy. So the real question is the dream worthy of you? So saying yes is the most powerful and empowering thing that you could really say to yourself.
Karen, oh my goodness. You are making me tear up a little bit over here. Is the dream worthy of me? Because you're already worth it.
Yep.
You're so right. And I keep thinking, you were talking a little bit about regrets and fear. And yeah, I think it really is fear that holds us back. But I don't think that very many people regret pursuing their dreams. I think it's the opposite, right? They regret not pursuing.
Correct.
And you had said something before when we had chatted about if you have the dream, then it's meant for you. Can you talk about that a little bit more? Because that was a really powerful thing that you had shared with me.
Yes, certainly. When a dream comes to you, it is your dream. It was gifted to you because you are already resourced to bring that dream to life. If the dream was for someone else, I always tell my clients this, if the dream was for someone else, it would have gone to someone else, but it is yours. It was gifted to you for you. And it is your role now to say yes to the dream, to take action and to actually bring that dream into reality. Everything that you need to accomplish that dream is already resourced in you. It's already resourced within you. That's why it was given to you. And that's why having a coach who can help bring all of those up to the front so that you can say, oh, yes, I didn't realize, I didn't know I could do it. All of those are the things that start to bubble to the surface because the dream is yours. You are already resourced for it. You just have to execute it, take it on and go with it.
So I think Karen can just drop the mic right there. She's just given us so many profound nuggets of wisdom. And I know listeners are going to have to listen to this several times to get all of them. So I want to thank you so much for being here with me, Karen, and sharing what you know on this really important topic of your dreams were meant for you and you say yes to them. And so I do want to make sure that people know how they can connect with you and where they can find out more about you. So if you want to share that with us.
Certainly. And Kristen, I just want to say thank you for hosting me today. It's been a wonderful, wonderful pleasure. And thank you so much. The best place to find me is on LinkedIn. You can find me just by my name, Karen Williams-Thompson. You can send me a DM and I will be in touch with you. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram at my business, Beyond Limits Global Consultancy. So you can find me there or email karen.blgc246@gmail.com. Those are the ways that you can reach out to me, and I would be happy to help you say yes to your dreams.
Yes, we love it. So you all have her information, no excuses. You can reach out to her. Like I said at the top of the show, Karen and I could have talked about a lot of different things. She's so knowledgeable about so many different areas of just empowering women to live their best lives. But this one, I think, was the right choice, Karen. I think
so.
will be really powerful for listeners. So thank you again for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
If you loved today's episode, please subscribe so you don't miss a show. And rating and reviewing this podcast is the best way to help support us. Always remember, your voice and what you have to offer is needed in the world. Until next week, take care.